You're not overthinking because you're broken. You're overthinking because you've trained your mind to be your enemy. And here's the painful truth. Overthinking doesn't solve your problems. It multiplies them. It takes one small worry and turns it into an empire of anxiety. But what if I told you that the same mind that traps you in endless loops could be trained to set you free? In this video, I'll reveal 3 secrets to stop overthinking, even if you failed 100 times before. But stay with me till the end, because one of these secrets can silence the loudest thoughts in your head in less than 5 minutes. Let's begin. Most people don't realize this. Overthinking is not about your thoughts being too much. It's about your thoughts being misdirected. Think about it. Has worrying ever solved a single thing? You've replayed conversations in your mind, word for word. You've analyzed every decision until you're paralyzed. You've lived in the past and you've feared the future, while the present quietly slipped away. That's the tragedy of overthinking. Life is happening, but you're not in it. And here's the truth. Most people think overthinking makes them more prepared, but in reality, it makes them powerless. The Stoics knew this thousands of years ago. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Today I escaped anxiety," or no, I discarded it because it was within me, inside my own thoughts. So if anxiety and overthinking live inside you, then the power to silence them also lives inside you. And that brings us to the first secret. The first secret to stop overthinking is simple. Name the beast. Here's what I mean. Overthinking often feels like a storm that comes out of nowhere, but every storm has a source, and if you don't identify it, you'll keep drowning in rain that was never yours to carry. One of the things I've learned is that most people don't overthink everything. They overthink one category of life: relationships, money, mistakes, the future. Let me tell you a story. A close friend of mine used to call me at 2 a.m. almost every night, not because anything bad happened, but because she was replaying conversations she had at work. One wrong word, one awkward silence, and she'd spiral for hours. But here's what changed her life. I asked her, "What exactly are you afraid of? Name it." And after weeks of digging, she realized she wasn't afraid of conversations at all. She was afraid of rejection. Once she named the beast, it lost its power. She stopped rehearsing conversations and started facing the real fear, and she grew stronger than it. The solution for you: take a notebook today. Write down your top 3 worries, then ask yourself, what am I actually afraid of beneath this? Name the beast, because what is named can be faced. But that's only the beginning, because naming the beast doesn't stop the storm. For that, you need the second secret. The second secret to stop overthinking is to shrink time. Overthinking thrives in endless timelines. You're not just worried about today. You're worried about tomorrow, next week, next year, maybe even the rest of your life. No wonder it feels heavy. You're carrying decades in your head in a single moment. Here's where Stoicism gives us a lifeline. Seneca once wrote, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." Your imagination stretches problems until they look bigger than they are. The cure? Shrink time down to what you can control today. Let me share something personal. When my wife lost her job during a rough season, she couldn't sleep. She kept imagining the bills stacking up, the debts rising, the future collapsing. Every night was a battlefield. So we made a rule: no worrying beyond today. We'd ask, what's the one thing we can do in the next 24 hours? That one small step, whether it was updating a CV, sending one email, or applying for one job, became the anchor that silenced the storm. Here's the solution for you. When your mind spins out into years, decades, endless what-ifs, shrink time. Ask, what can I do today? Not tomorrow, not 10 years from now. Today. But here's the twist. Shrinking time quiets your mind in the short term. What about the long term? That's where the third secret unlocks everything. The third secret is to shift the spotlight. Overthinking happens because you put yourself at the center of every story. What if I fail? What if they don't like me? What if I regret this? But here's a harsh truth. The world isn't thinking about you as much as you think they are, and that's not an insult. It's freedom. Epictetus said, "When you are offended at any man's fault, turn to yourself and study your own failings, then you will forget your anger." The same is true for overthinking. When you move the spotlight off yourself and onto purpose, service, and action, your mind has no room left to obsess over imaginary scenarios. The solution: next time you catch yourself spiraling, ask, how can I shift my focus from myself to something greater? Call a friend, help someone, work on your craft, move your body. Do anything that shifts the spotlight. Because the cure for overthinking isn't to think less, it's to think differently. So remember the 3 secrets: name the beast, shrink time, shift the spotlight. Do this and you'll notice something strange. The thoughts that once crushed you begin to lose their grip. The fears that used to paralyze you start to shrink before your eyes. And the noise that once filled your head turns into silence you can finally breathe in. But here's the truth. This isn't a one-time fix. This is the work of a lifetime. And if you're serious about mastering it, you can't do it alone. That's why I want you to subscribe right now. Not just because it helps the channel, but because you need reminders like this every single week. You need a voice that pulls you back when your mind tries to drag you under. And that's what I'm here to be for you. So here's the question I'll leave you with, and I want you to sit with it. If your thoughts have the power to trap you, don't they also have the power to set you free?